welcome back to another Axel 72 video. And in today's video, it's a pleasure to be joined by Nathan Howells. Nathan, how are we?
I'm good, mate. Good, Just not long gone back from the gym and put the kids to bed.
hmm Busy day, mate. I appreciate your time. And so I suppose we'll just get straight into it with a question, which I always like to start off with. Go back to the very start and say, why did you start boxing?
So, it's quite a mad story, actually. I was just hanging around the streets, being a little idiot like I used to be,
hmm
and two of my mates went to the gym and they asked me to go, and I said, "Oh, I'm not going to the gym. I don't want to let someone punch me in the face for." They said, "Oh, come, it's good fitness." So I went with them because I had nothing better to do, and then lo and behold, they stopped going. I just could never stop. I loved it.
No, it's I suppose a little bit of a common story, but I suppose good at the same time that it got you onto a good path. And I suppose would you recommend boxing for kids that might be getting in trouble and things like that?
Oh, it's brilliant. There's nothing better for myself. Like I said, with myself, I've also been to prison,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the best thing for me when I come out of jail to stop me from going back. It's the one just obviously having kids as well, but it was perfect for me. I've not got no time to get nothing now.
No, it's excellent to hear. And do you remember what happened in that of your first ever boxing fight?
There weren't much boxing going on, you know what I mean? I think
hmm
if I remember rightly, I lost my first one, but I think we just went out and just went mental, just started whipping.
hmm
I was only like 14 at the time.
No, I mean, I'd imagine that things have gotten a lot better since then, technique-wise, and of course, everybody has these good fond memories at the start. And do you remember, and I suppose, did you have many achievements that you look back upon your amateur times?
I didn't have many amateurs. I don't know if you know. I only had nine amateurs.
Mhm,
Like I had I think it was four or five before
mhm,
before I started messing about and I went to prison and stuff. And then I come out of jail then, I think about 2017, 18. And then I come back out, went back into the amateurs just to lose weight at first. And then I got down to like 10-8. I entered the novices again because I still could enter the novices. I won that.
mhm,
And then I started training with Tony, not long after.
mhm. No, I mean, fair play. A lot of fighters do go into the pros, without too much amateur experience. But why did you, when you did, go into the pros?
So I sparred somebody for Tony because someone didn't turn up, and I don't know. I felt like I don't like it. Tony said I don't like the sparring, and he said you should come train with us more often. And
Mhm,
as soon as it was in my head, and I was training with the pros all the time, I was like, oh, these boys are getting paid to do this all the time, and I'm just doing the same work as them. I
mhm,
just thought, why not? And then I was going to enter the Welsh, just for my own confidence. I wanted to enter the Welsh elites and see how I done in that. Just my own confidence. I want to see how I done with boys who had like 80 fights and stuff like that. But COVID struck, it did, and then, so that got cancelled. And
mhm,
then I was like, well, we didn't know how long COVID was going to be around for, so we
mhm,
thought, I might as well try and turn over. At least like the first lockdown we couldn't train, but at least I could still train if I was a professional athlete. And then the second one, so I just turned over from here then.
mhm. And when you look back upon that time when you did turn over, did you really kind of expect much to happen from the pros, or was it just, see whatever happens?
It like similar to what you said then, like we didn't have much chances, so we didn't really know where I could go. I think I had an interview with Kyron, and I just said, I'll go as far as I can go. If I'm good enough, I'm good enough. I'm not, I'm not. I thought we're only one way to find out, innit?
Mhm.
And oh, of course, yeah.
No, it's always no worries, mate. And I suppose, obviously, like you say, you've gotten very far in your career so far, anyways, and you've gone through this whole kind of prospect spell before, of course, your little title fight. And, did you enjoy that prospect spell of yours?
Yeah, my first fight was a toughie, wasn't it, for a debut, and I loved it. Um, I've asked to be moved on now a bit, like the smaller shows and stuff like that. Now, I don't really make enough money. I don't know if people don't really understand boxing, but at the lowest level, we don't really make barely any money. Like for example, now this fight, my medical note was due, so that's like £1,000. I'll
Mhm.
probably get paid about that. Do you know what I mean? So I box for free basically.
Yeah. No, I imagine how difficult that is, and I suppose is it just so important to selling tickets and everything like that?
Yeah, so like obviously, not many people understand this neither. So if we don't sell enough tickets, for example, I think got to sell about around about £5,000 worth of tickets to end up with something decent because you've got to pay your opponent, the show take money, and then whatever's left, you get a percentage of that. So got to sort that out.
Mhm. Am I allowed to ask financially how a fight like that against a genuine type of opponent compares to that of a title fight in which you have, if I'm allowed to ask financially how that differs?
Well, for example, a Wells title,
Mhm.
he will sell. I don't have to pay his purse because he sell his own tickets. So he paid for himself. So then I think I had a better deal on that. Whereas like I ended up taking home a lot better money. So because he's paying for his own thing, I'm not paying my opponent, so I keep that money. Um, the show obviously still takes his money, and then you get a better percentage of what's left and more of what's left as well.
Mhm. No, it's always interesting to hear all the different things about boxing, the actual business side of it, and like I mentioned, you had this Welsh title fight, and obviously it didn't go your way, but how much did you learn from that fight?
The box, the box. You obviously watched there. I got caught early, and I seen a bit of the red mist, and that was it. Tony told me, he said I could see. Oh, he was telling me things to do, and he could see him just going one ear and out the other because all I wanted to do was have a fight, which I've been warned for before. So I need to learn from it, and I think I showed that in my next fight. Then I fought a guy I drew to because I had a fight with him last time. And I boxed his socks off in 6 rounds, didn't lose a round. So I'm hopefully we're on the right path now.
Mhm. And obviously, like I mentioned, you've gone past that prospect phase, and I'm sure you're not going to be wanting to fight too many kind of lower level opponents anymore. And I'm sure you're wanting to get back within the next couple of fights back into that title contention.
Yeah, I'd like to move on now. Really, like I said, I'm losing money or fighting for free most of the time now. So I'd like to step on and get some bigger fights, better fights, maybe even a rematch with Connor down the line somewhere. But that's what I'm hoping for next within the next like 2, 3 fights really.
And how much would it mean to you if you were to ever become that Welsh champion?
I mean a lot, like I said, I won the novices, but I never actually done it as an amateur, so it'd be a good starting step as a professional winner. And then obviously once you've got a title, it opens up doors. Like people when they look down the rankings, they're more likely to take a risk on you because they get more credit for the fight. Because at the moment with no belts and a lost my name, they don't really get much credit for fighting me. So why would they? Which I don't blame them. Why would they fight me? It's little risk, no reward.
No, of course, it's tricky to be able to get yourself in a good position, but of course, like you say, you're going the right way about it, and obviously you're back out fighting at the end of this month, and overall, how's preparations been going so far?
Um, Not the best to be honest. I'm still training, but I still work 6 days a week. So, and I took on an extra shift because I've been a little bit stuck for money. So I'm really struggling to get in the gym. But Junior have been helping out with like one-to-one sessions in the nights when I can make it. I also went up and trained in that with abs. So obviously when I can get in at 11 with Tony's big as well. So it's thing now, and I'll take off. I think I always try to take off a week or 2 weeks towards the end of the camp, so should hopefully sort it out.
No, I'd imagine it is difficult, and I suppose how difficult can it be to even manage something like your sleep when you've got that many things you're trying to juggle at once?
Yeah, so like at the moment, especially at the moment, I deliver parcels. I do so. I do the depot sorting early in the morning, like half 6 to half 9, and then I'll load my van. I'll try and get a session in at about 11 if I can get in. Sometimes the depot opens late, and then I'll go back to work, finish off my round then, and then I'll go back to the gym. Someone come home, man. I'm that good.
Mate, I'm not surprised. Fair play for you to be able to, do all of that and keep going with boxing. That's like you say, certain things that people don't see from an outside looking in. And I suppose, with every fight, with every win, how much does the support that comes for you mean to you?
It means the world, like we just explained now. If I don't sell tickets, I don't really get put on shows. So if I didn't do well on tickets, A, I'd get even less money than what I'm getting now. And B, they'd stop putting me on shows. I wouldn't be able to fight, so I wouldn't be able to do it.
No, it's very tricky, and I suppose like you say, you want to get back in title contention, and within the next few fights. And where do you see yourself in that of a year's time?
So hopefully, like I said, within the next 2 or 3 fights, if I don't rematch for the Welsh, I'd like to move on. And if it's not a title fight, maybe a bigger money fight, and hopefully like that will help me financially then, so I can get in the gym more often, and hopefully if I get a good enough money like that, time me over to the next fight. So hopefully then, once I've had a couple of big ones, I can drop back on work even more, maybe even cut it out,
Mhm.
become full time. I'd like to try and do that soon.
Mhm. No, I do not blame you. And would you be open to like taking away fights and, being in 50-50 fights, but like I say, being that of the away fighter?
So yeah, like that's what I spoke to Chris about now. Whereas I'm at that point now where I'm 10 fights in, I've really done my learning stage. Even though I didn't have many amateurs, I want to be stepped on now. If that's away, it's away. If it's home. I'm ready to go.
I respect that attitude a lot. And obviously, Welsh boxing is progressing very nicely at the moment. There are some big names floating around, and you know, I'm sure when you get a chance, you like to enjoy watching boxing yourself. And what do you make of Welsh boxing currently?
No, it's good. It's booming. Like a lot of boys, like for example, Gavin just went out on a big show out in Riyadh, didn't he? Like so, Cordina's doing well for us. So I'd like, I'd love to be part of something like that one day. Without the bank anyway, wouldn't it?
No, most definitely, mate. And I suppose, does it seem like it's very difficult to kind of bridge that gap between small hall fighting and these big show cards?
Like they gotta take the risk on you, innit? Like I said, at the when if you're doing well, it's big risk but no reward to it unless you got a title or you've been doing like a lot of knockouts. So like, and then, like, they'll get some credit for it. But if they're not getting no credit, why would they take the risk on you? So yeah, it is quite hard. But hopefully, eventually, someone will have to take the. As long as I don't mess up again, hopefully, someone will have to take that risk at one point.
No, I completely agree, and I really appreciate your time, Nathan. I'm going to leave with this final question, which I always like to finish it with, and it's basically just to open up the floor to you. Is there anything you want to shout out or promote or anything like that?
I'd like to thank like all my sponsors. Like I said, most of the time I'm fighting for free. So the little boost they give me when they help me pay for stuff and all that helps me keep some of my fight money in my pocket. So I appreciate that. They've supported me from the very start. I've done quite well with sponsors. And like we said earlier, I'd like to thank all of the people who come and support me because without them, and if I didn't sell tickets, I wouldn't get put on shows.
No, it's like I say, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate all that you're doing as well to be able to get to the position where you are. And like I say, I'm excited for this next fight of yours, and excited to see how your career progresses. And like I say, very grateful for you coming on. And so, if you are new around here and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like video if you didn't need like video, and thanks for watching.